I've just pulled up at SP Auto Classics. They do restoration and hot rod kind of work, so I didn't have a chance to drop them a line to let them know I was coming, but we'll see how busy they are. Somewhat unexpectedly, that turned into a possible work opportunity, so we'll see how this plays out. Feeling cautiously optimistic. The level checking method for the mid 72s and later, which this has that funky filter adaptation, would indicate, just didn't seem like it's getting enough oil in it. So I did undo the plug behind the axle, which is how you would check level on early 72s and older. Quite a bit of oil, maybe a liter, which is saying something. It doesn't hold that much, so needs a pint of fresh 30 weight, and we'll be good to go. I filled up the fuel tank with some fresh fuel, so just give her a little taste. You know what? Let's take this out. Hood latch doesn't work. It needs some attention. One day. Well, that worked until it didn't. something blue under here. There's oil everywhere. That's why we were working good, and then suddenly it wasn't. So let's find out what happened. Right, yeah, you should just be able to see a little fuzzy bit there. That hose is blown out. So, guess there's another job to do. Woohoo! Well, I guess it's time to pull this leaking hose off, and the top side there, you can see it just under the brace, right there. That's pretty straightforward, but then it loops down, and where does it go? Well, it goes right there. And that does not look like a swivel fitting, so I'm going to have to undo the other end, thread it down, and then spin it right out, which is, yeah, maybe going to be a little bit interesting. I might take this off and just get it out of the way. All right. It's out. And wasn't that a treat? This end here appears to be connected to a check valve of some sort, that larger 7/8 hex nut there, and it wanted to spin out, so I had to kind of hold it at the same time as getting this out, and it was a little rounded off. So yeah, overall not the most fun ever. I might put an elbow in here so that we can avoid this big U-bend here, but that depends on having room to put the elbow in, so we shall see. Well, how about that? I changed that metering spring on the diaphragm side and followed the actual starting instructions, and this saw starts up and runs really nicely now. So that one is a success. Woohoo! I'm told this is a parts saw. This is the other one, the other Craftsman. This is the one with the funny little sharpening thing here that we're not going to use, and a kind of quick, easy belt tensioner thing. It's a little dirty, but I don't know, if I can get it to run, then, you know, it might be worth something. So I guess we'll see what it does. Let me just, throttle is sticking. Give it a little taste of Dr. Pepper here. There's definitely something sticking, but we'll worry about that when we get there. We're off to a good start. Well, we've got fuel coming out all over the place here. So I definitely think, at the very least, this line is rock hard. I think it's just been sat a really long time. And yeah. Well, it's not without promise. I love how after I run a saw, smoke kind of comes out of my toolbox. I think I'm going to rebuild this carb. It's kind of pointless not to. I've got the kits here. I might as well. I'm going to take off the handle and see why that throttle's sticking. These lines are hard as a rock, so I'm going to replace that line to at least to here. That should be a pretty good start, I think, to things. I'm going to get going. There we can see the stickiness is not in the carb itself, so that's good. It's definitely, yeah, it's in here. Feel it. Oh, you know what I think it is? Ah. With that fuel line being so hard, it's actually hitting on the fuel line here, and it won't move out of the way. So when we squeeze the throttle, it's actually the fuel line right there holding it in place. So replacing this fuel line, we're going to fix two problems. Not bad, not bad at all. What a mess. What a mess. Aha! That's enough for tonight, I think.